We are getting really close to the property on Hall Road. We're in Wright County, Missouri. We're about 4 miles off of Highway 60. We took the Macomb exit and went south. And we're actually coming up on the property. It will be on the left side of the road. Property begins on the left. And we'll pull into the driveway in just a moment here. Let these cars go by. As we look down the road, you can see the power down there at the neighbor's place. Phone, of course, will be there as well, so power and phone are very nearby. The guys just have a strand of barbed wire up. I'll take that down in a moment. We'll go have a look at the property. Nice wide driveway, leads back to a cleared site. Okay, see if I can do this without catching myself on this barbed wire. There we go. I'll hop back in the truck in a moment here. The guys just came in yesterday with a brush hog on the little tractor and mowed this. It hadn't been mowed for years, obviously. And this is the first opportunity I've had to see it with it being cleaned up. So I'm excited to have a look at this. I have a feeling it's going to be a really nice property. I've only seen this from the road before it was mowed. Some big cedar trees. This property on the west side by the county road is basically open. And then as you get back to the east, we get into some nice mature timber. Oh yeah, this looks great. I'm just going to keep the video running and we'll have a look around, see how this looks. So that's looking back to the west toward the county road. Nice and private back here. Some nice big trees. Let's have a look at that timber. If you've been looking at our properties for a while, you know that we restrict pretty much everything we sell against single-wide mobile homes on this property, since we don't have any adjacent properties and no one's going to, complain to us. You're welcome to have a single-wide trailer here if you choose, or a double-wide. But in fact, there's an old single-wide trailer frame which is on the property. And that is our present to you. You could haul it away for scrap. You could leave it right where it is. It's not hurting anybody. Some people use these to make bridges, or you could build, you could use it as a frame for a cabin. But it's set here off in the tree line. It's really, in my mind, it's not a big nuisance. But as I said, you can have a single wide or a double wide on here. Obviously, you could build a cabin or a home. We're in Wright County and we're outside of city limits, so there are no building permits required, no zoning restrictions. You can basically do what you like on this property, so you've got a lot of freedom here. As we walk back toward the east, I can see some pretty cool rocks. That's interesting. I haven't seen formations like that in this area. And it looks like mostly hardwood trees. These are some smaller trees, but the guys told me they found some monster trees back here toward the north on the property. So I'm gonna walk back and have a look. Oh, this is super private and super peaceful. You could build obviously in the field on the east side, but if you wanted just a super private property, I would build back here in this timber. This is great. It's level. And there are some big trees back here. There's a big white oak back there. The fact that I can walk through this property without having to fight a bunch of brush means that it's been decades since this has been logged. I don't see any stumps. So it has been years and years and years since any marketable timber was taken off of this property. The topographic map that I had earlier showed that this stayed level, and then there was kind of a ravine type feature on the north end or the northeast end. Now here as I look off in the distance about 50 feet from where I am, there's a fence. I'm going to assume that's the east line. We don't know if this has been surveyed. We haven't surveyed it. The aerial on the county assessor's website gives you a really good idea of how this property lies. If you plan to build anywhere near the boundary, or if you're investing in an expensive fence, a survey would be a good idea. And here's a very pretty area. This is level. We've got some really nice timber here. Now this is interesting. This is a long line of rocks which have been placed here, by hand, it would appear. I've run into this a couple times in the Ozarks, and it generally means that at some point somebody probably cleared this off for farming or for pasture, but it would have been 50 or 100 years ago. And it's reverted back to the natural timber now. Now we're looking toward the north, and I can kind of see that ravine. It's not super steep. I believe we'd be looking toward the northwest. I don't have my compass with me. Oh, and we've got some nice timber here. You bet. That little ravine area is interesting. That could be a great spot if you wanted to build a pond. Put your dam down in the bottom there and back up some water. So yeah, this is better than I had hoped. I'm glad to have a look at this property. We're only about 4 miles off of Highway 60. We're only about 40 miles east of Springfield, and we're close to Mansfield. Going to the east, we wouldn't be that far out of Mountain Grove. Really great property. I love the privacy back here in these trees. We have a hard time getting anything that hasn't been logged recently, and this has not been logged recently. Wow, I've gone 10 minutes on this video. Everybody that knows about YouTube tells me never go more than 2 minutes because people only watch 2 minutes worth of video. And that may be true, but boy, I'd have to sprint through the property and get it all in 2 minutes. So that's the acreage. I'll call it the acreage by Macomb because we take the Macomb exit. I think the actual town of Macomb is probably just a post office. But that's the acreage in Wright County, south of Macomb, Missouri. Very nice property. I'm really happy with this. Someone is going to love this property.